Hi, everybody. Deirdre Vervo here in Let's Talk Seniors, Memory Care Issues, Alzheimer's, Dementia, and Parkinson's. Thank you so much for joining us on our second broadcast. Very excited to be here. Gary, you're upside down, so I'm just going to welcome Gary in a minute. But right now he's upside down, so when he turns around, we'll welcome him back. So we are going to be talking every night, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. right here live, all about seniors, memory care issues, Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's. So please join us and be sure to ask your questions, anything you want answered. It's a very timely topic to talk about seniors. Right now, are they very vulnerable people? They're a very vulnerable group going through a hard time during this COVID time, but they're always a vulnerable group, and we always have to take care of them. I'm Deirdre Vervo, and I wrote a book called Home to Home. It's a step-by-step senior housing guide. And my goal was to go around and teach it to senior centers and places with a workbook, helping seniors figure out what to do with the next step of their life when they are needing more assistance or needing to sell their home or stay in their home with reverse mortgage or sell their home or whatever the next step is. I also am opening in just a few weeks, Just Like Home residential assisted living in Shelton for 6 people. I am so excited to tell you all about it. That'll be the end of the broadcast. But Gary Ferone is here with us today. He's our special guest. And Gary Ferone is with Senior Services. Gary Ferone has owned and operated Fairfield Family Care based in Stamford for the past 12 years. He has 134 caregivers, all non-medical, servicing Westchester, Fairfield, and New Haven counties. 50% of his business is 24 live-in, people that have 24-hour live-in for their parent or loved one, and 50% come and go. But they specialize in memory care. They specialize in Alzheimer's and dementia and Parkinson's, which is what we'll be talking about today. Through his years of experience, Gary realized that people were eventually moving from their homes that they loved because they were unsafe or they needed more care because it became too expensive, to big box facilities and large places, and they're paying exorbitant fees and were not getting great care. He didn't feel that they were in good hands anymore. So it concerned him a lot, and he had a dream of opening his own senior communities where people could live in beautiful homes and have excellent care. So it's exactly what he did. Thus, Sunshine Senior Residence was formed. So Gary now has opened 5 senior living residences in Lower Fairfield County. There are 4 in Stamford and 1 in Norwalk, and they house 4 and 5 residents. Every resident has special love and attention. And the beauty of these homes is they're much safer than large facilities. Gary's had 0 COVID cases in any of his homes. We are going to meet Gary Ferone now, and he's going to give us a tour of one of his gorgeous homes in Old Logging Road in Stamford. So without much further ado, here is our special guest star today, Gary Ferone. Hey, Gary, thank you for being right side up.
Hey, Deirdre, how are you? Thanks for having me today.
I'm doing great. And Gary, you have been so kind and generous and instrumental in me setting up my home. I just really want to thank you for that. You've just been a godsend, and I just can't wait for everybody to see your home. So many people ask, what is a residential home? What is a senior living residence? Can you explain?
Sure. We wanted to be able to find a place that people can be safe in their own community at an affordable rate with really, really good care. And being in the home care business, we realized that people were selling their home, going into an assisted living facility, and then they had a plus service, and the fees got sort of exorbitant. And so I was looking for a place for clients that we had service to be able to receive really, really good care at an affordable rate. So what I did is I went out and purchased about 6 years ago my first home, which was a 5-bedroom ranch home in North Stamford, to allow, thank you, to allow 4 residents with full-time 24-hour care. So in each home, we have 2 caregivers. We have one live-in that's there 24 hours a day, and we have one hourly person that usually comes in depending on when people get up in the morning and when they go to bed, but usually from about 8:30 to 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening. So my ratio is about is a 2-to-1 ratio during the day, which is 2 caregivers for every 1 client, and a 1-in-4 ratio in the evening.
And how does that compare with the big box facilities?
In a lot of the large facilities, they usually have a 1-to-9 ratio during the day, which is 1 staff person to every 9 residents, and a 1-to-17 in the evening. So that's usually 1 staff person for 17 residents. Should they need help, going to the bathroom, it's going to be a lot longer for them to receive care than in a residence like mine.
That's a huge difference. Can you explain to the people what the plus is for people that aren't familiar with that lingo?
Normally people go in at a regular rate, and then they may say, great, if you need help showering, it's now another $1,000 a month. If you need help getting dressed in the morning, it's another $1,000 a month. If you need the nurse to pour your meds for you daily, it's another $1,000 per month. So a lot of people go in at a small rate, and they don't realize that the rate goes higher and higher and higher as they require more services. In addition, they normally have an increase each year. What I've done with my residents is in listening to the families prior to opening, we have a lifetime rate lock. So whatever rate the client comes in at, that rate is locked for the term and the life of the resident, meaning there's no increases, no annual plus services, no annual increases, nothing. So they can actually plan and budget. If they sell a home and they have X amount of dollars to live out the rest of their life, they'll know exactly how much it's going to cost with no hidden surprises.
That is a super convenience. That is just makes people feel very comfortable, I'm sure, knowing they have the money and it's not going up to 3 to 5%. The other places go up every year. And knowing that if their parent needs some additional services, they're not going to be spending another $12,000 to $24,000 a year on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's a godsend. That's great. Super. Now, so you're outside Old Logging?
I'm outside my second home, which is Old Logging Road, which is right off of Schofield Town Road in North Stamford, just half a block from the Stamford Nature Center.
Oh, nice. Okay. So let's see the house.
Sure, absolutely. Let me just flip to a different view.
The outside. So that's on an acre of property, right? Okay, now we're not upside down. Now we're right side up.
North Stamford is on an acre plus of property. So just walking up, we have a sort of a nice, slow, elevated ramp. We didn't want to make it look. One of our homes, we have what we call as an egress door. So it helps for people trying to get out of the house when they're not supposed to. So there's a 4-digit code, and it's the same in all of our homes. What I tried to do in opening these homes is the number one most important thing is I wanted to make it look like a regular home. I didn't want to make it look institutionalized. I didn't want to make it look like it was a hospital, nursing home, or an assisted living. So we tried to make each home look like it was their own. I'll give you a little tour. So right here, we're just standing in the entrance hall. Okay. I will start off by saying that each one of our homes has a backup generator, fire suppression, CO2, carbon monoxide, and a 300-gallon storage tank in the basement in case of any fire if the well should run dry. Okay, so right through this door here, we have a powder room where we do our laundry daily. Okay, and I'll take you down the main hallway here, and I'll show you my first room, which is our master bedroom. What we do is we supply all of the furniture, the blankets, the towels, the pillows, the sheets, and everything. So really all a resident has to do is just come in with their toiletries, clothes, any type of depends that they may have, and then we can take care of everything above and beyond. Okay. So all of our beds are high-grade mattresses. They all incline, and the feet are elevated as well. We have call buttons on the side of each nightstand. Okay. We have them that you can wear around your neck or one just at the side of the bed. Okay. Every room has its own TV, own cable box. We have Netflix, movie channels. This right here is the master bathroom. It's handicap accessible. Okay. And the rest of the house we outfitted. We took up all of the carpeting. We have nice polished hardwood floors. This is the first bathroom with sort of multi-use bathroom for anybody to use. As you can see, we redid all of the bathrooms, which they are roll under for somebody who may be in a wheelchair. We have comfort high toilets. This right here basically is a roll-in shower for people for ease of showering. Okay. We also, in every single room and bathroom, we have a special heating element that for people with advanced dementia that do not like to shower, then what they can do is we can turn that heater on and heat these rooms up to 120 degrees to make it much easier for somebody in the middle of the winter or on a cold day to shower. Walking down through the hallway, we have our caregiver. Her room is here. And so this is the room. Since we're a private facility, Deirdre, we're allowed to have bed rails. I like the softer ones if somebody may be prone to falling out of bed. We have these that can come up for people's safety. Okay. Again, all of the furniture comes standard. And this is her room. And this is her own bathroom. Okay. I'm a stickler for cleanliness, so everything is neat and clean and modern. For the caregiver, we have a little monitoring system right here that the caregiver can view in her own room. It's a camera system, and she could also hear a pin drop in the middle of the night. So my response time for somebody in the evening when needed help was probably anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. A caregiver will be right in the room if someone needed help. This is another resident's room. She happens to be on a Hoyer lift. So we have availability. We have Hoyer lifts. We have wheelchairs. We have walkers. We have rolling commodes. We have hospital beds should somebody need it at all at no additional charge. And this is her bathroom in here. Again, with a roll-in shower and a roll-under sink. Okay. So I'll take you through the rest of the house. Yes,
Gary, did that residence start out needing all those services, or did she progress to need those?
She was walking when she came in, and that was years ago. And then what happened is, over a period of time, she was mostly confined to a wheelchair, and then it made it difficult where she couldn't stand and pivot. So then what we did is we had a Hoyer lift that we purchased and had it brought into the room.
So
okay.
she's been there many years, and as she's progressing, she's progressing in place.
Right. And we can handle someone fully ambulatory, fully cognizant, all the way up to full lift and transfer, bedbound on hospice with no increase in cost and no need for any additional special equipment that the family has to purchase. We do all of that for them.
That's amazing, because I know that can go up to $20,000 a month.
Yeah.
That's expensive care. That's a big
out of the home care service that I have in Stamford, we employ about 130 caregivers, and in the homes we have what we feel is the best of the caregivers that we have through our agency. Okay, let me bring you now into sort of our great room here. Okay, we have we usually stream Sonos most of the time during the day, either Dean Martin radio or Frank Sinatra. We have Skype. We have an iPad for FaceTime during the COVID times, which we're not allowing any guests or any outside activities. And as you mentioned earlier, and thank you for that, we've had no COVID cases in any of our homes throughout the whole pandemic. Okay.
So Gary, if somebody were to come into your home now, if they want a tour, how do you A, give tours, and B, what do they need to do to come to your home to make sure that they are safe for everybody else is kept safe?
Sure. We just actually this week allowed people to come in to do some tours. We have them wear face masks. We have them wear gloves. We take their temperature prior to entering. And if any resident wants to move in, we require a double negative COVID test. So they have to be tested twice with a negative response, and then we will allow them in.
Excellent. So they can get that done at their regular doctor's office?
That's correct. Yeah.
Mhm.
And some of the things that you see here, we do arts and crafts, and they're sort of collecting things to give away as gifts and things like that. We have arts and crafts twice a week, which is really special for everyone.
That makes it
Now
very
we're
homey.
our
Very
little
homey.
after dinner bingo, and we have May and Antoinette, and we have Michelle and Ruth. Okay, just doing a little stimulation, prior to bed. So I have a ramped area into the kitchen here with a softer kitchen floor. This is our kitchen area.
Beautiful. hmm And
We
does
have-
everybody eat together as a family?
We do, yes. This is sort of a nice sitting area that we have for people who may want family visitation, that they can come in. We have this special where we can sort of close the doors to sort of partition off to have family have a little bit of sort of one-on-one time with their loved one. I'll take you through the kitchen.
So
This
Gary,
right-
other facilities I know have quarantined anybody new coming in, and they've put them in their rooms for 14 days. But you're not doing that.
We're not doing that because we haven't had a lot of visitation in and out. If we have a double negative test, then and we take their temperature and monitor them every single day, we're happy with that. And we've had again no COVID cases from the beginning. This right here is sort of what we call is a caregiver monitoring system, so where the caregiver can stay in the kitchen and monitor, the entire house just to see if anybody is in the common areas, and also families are allowed to view that as well. Okay. I'll take you outside. I think one of the most important things that we do is we spend most of our time outside. Sometimes in traditional assisted living facilities, they spend most of their time inside. We believe in a little vitamin D. We believe in sort of nice outside activity and so on. So this is a nice little sun porch that people can, have breakfast or have a little bit of lunch. We have a fan here to be able to cool off. It's a nice change of pace from eating in the kitchen daily. We have a nice sort of outdoor deck that we spend a lot of our time. We open up the umbrella. We have family barbecues on the weekends for people to come. We have a nice backyard.
Gorgeous.
We have gardens that we grow fresh vegetables and our own lettuce and tomatoes and zucchini and things like that.
And do the residents help grow that?
They do. It's fun for them to pick a tomato. It's fun for them to have a little bit of lettuce from the garden, or steam up some zucchini. We get all of our provisioning from Restaurant Depot, so we get really good quality food and plenty of it. So
Nice.
we can also cater to any type of food group, whether they're a low salt diet, any pureed foods, anything really that they want. It's just pure fish diet. It could be vegetarian or vegan. We can cater to all of that. Okay.
Do you have any residents with the sweet tooth?
Every one of them. Every one of them. Good. Okay. So coming back in through the kitchen, which we prepare our meals, and the caregivers are excellent cooks. We have our
So the
little
caregivers cook, and it's basically family style.
Exactly.
Now, what
Yeah,
if they want to? What if somebody likes to wake up early? Somebody likes to wake up late? Is there a specific time they come to breakfast, lunch, like that?
Yeah. So normally for breakfast, it's a la carte. So people can get up at different times, and they could either have waffles or pancakes or eggs or oatmeal or fruit or anything really that they may want. We generally try to do lunches sort of together as a family and dinner together as a family. But we're a small group. And if we were having, let's say, lemon chicken Wednesday night for dinner, and all of a sudden someone didn't feel like they wanted lemon chicken, we can make them something different because we're only 4 people. It's very, very easy and simple. But over a period of time, we get to learn what people like, what they don't like. I think one of the most important things that families have to realize is that with a consistent staff in a small group, it's like living at home with a few friends. And we get to know their likes and their dislikes. And I think the caregivers get very, very attached to the residents, which is important. And I always say that money can't buy love. And so they give a lot of love and a lot of affection in a small setting for the residents that we have here.
That is super. And the average age of your residents?
Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, I have one resident that's my age is 58, and they all go all the way up to 102. So, but I
I
would say
was
the
visiting
average is
once.
age is in the high 80 to early to mid 90s.
I was visiting once last year, and you had a woman there that I think was celebrating her 101 birthday, and she seemed pretty
101
with
birthday.
it.
Exactly.
She seemed very
Absolutely.
with it.
Yep. We have a landscaper to, manicure all the grounds. They're kept nicely. Um, in normal times, not in COVID times, we have visiting. There are no visiting hours. We want you to feel like this is your mom or dad's home. You could come at any point in time, visit early in the morning, on the weekend, bring the kids, bring the dogs, play in the back, and have a barbecue and really sort of enjoy each other's company.
Do you need to be announced, or do you need to call ahead, or do they just come?
No, well, what we like to do is there we go. Sorry about that. We like people to give us a call to let us know how many people we will have, and we're happy to defrost burgers and dogs and grilled chicken, and we just want to have things ready for them should we have a nice barbecue.
Nice, nice. So they can come for a meal anytime.
They can come for a meal anytime. There's no cost for that. One of the things I think is important with engagement, we do physical therapy twice a day, every single day at 10:30 and 3:30. We do stretching and exercising. I think that's important. And also for stimulation in non-COVID times, we have a lot of barbecues. So with 5 residents all within 5 or 10 minutes of each other, we will, you may come to my house for Tuesday for lunch, and we may go back to your house for Thursday to reciprocate. And so a lot of people, the residents, get to see the same people. They enjoy the visitation and they have fun.
They make it festive. You make it festive.
Yes, exactly. We
That's
also have a licensed driver at every single home. We like outside engagement. So we a lot of times go to the movies on Tuesday. We go to the Stanford Nature Center, maybe on Wednesday. We may go to the mall on Thursday. We may go down to the Cove, to the beach with a little picnic lunch, on another day. We don't get everybody to, respond each day, but I may get 2 takers to come out on Monday and the other 2 people to go out on Tuesday. We don't want to force them, but we want to strongly encourage for a little outside activity, even if it's to go down to the farmer's market or pick up some milk at Trader Joe's.
nice. Now, have a lot of your residents come from other facilities, or they're usually coming directly from home?
It's different. A lot of them come from facilities where they started at a low rate of 4 or 5,000, and for memory care, which is really what we specialize in, the rates have gone north of 12, 13, 14, $15,000 per month. Others have been in the search for assisted living facilities, and they find my home either through an assisted living sort of realtor, if you will, and people refer us. And so that's a little bit about, could come from either or.
Nice. Excellent. So it seems like a pretty happy place.
It's a happy place. We try our best. We feel like we do a very, very good job, and people are well cared for, which is the most important thing that we think of.
Well, they seem awfully happy. I've been to your homes. They're gorgeous. They're spotless. The caretakers are loving, and they seem to really know the residents, which is lovely. And the residents know them. And I love the arts and crafts.
Yes.
I love arts and crafts. So I
have,
just think it makes it very homey. It makes it very warm and homey that they make arts and crafts that are so nice and they hang around.
We do that. We have a lady that comes in to play the piano a couple of times a week. We have Dave, who's a great guitar player. He comes in on Saturday morning. We have a lot of people that come and volunteer, which help with, FaceTime calls and, just telling stories, reading books and things like that. I want to give people enough engagement, but I don't want to overactivity them to death.
Sure. Now, right now, is everybody doing FaceTime to see their loved ones since they can't come in?
Yeah, since we're not having family visitation, we're hoping to lift that within the next few weeks. We're actually probably going to start with outside on the deck visitation,
Nice.
sitting on one end of the table and the other. We'll do that for half-hour, 45-minute visits, and hopefully within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we can go back to our normal schedule with having people in and families over on a regular basis.
Yeah. How's that been on your residents, not being able to see their kids and their grandkids and their loved ones?
I think it's been more difficult on the families than the residents. But, with modern technology today and FaceTime, each resident may FaceTime 2 or 3 people daily. So at least they stay connected.
Good. Good. And what is the favorite activity in that home? What are those? What do they like?
Hand down.
Arts
the
and
arts and
crafts.
crafts. Yeah.
I'm with them. Do they also bake?
We haven't done much baking. We do a lot of cookies when usually young gals come in and volunteer. We'll do a lot of cookie baking and things like that. Some cupcakes, but sometimes we have a better ability with some people versus others to be able to get into more sort of in-depth baking. They sort of like to sit and eat the cookies and the cupcakes versus cooking.
That's the best part. That's why I bake.
Exactly.
To eat them. I mean, baking's fun, but the best part is eating them, of course. I'm with them. Yeah. And seniors tend to have sweet tooth, so that's all cool.
All do. Absolutely.
Gary, I absolutely love your home. I love what you're doing there. I love that you have really brought it to Connecticut because they're not known in Connecticut. And I know this is a big thing to get known. How did you actually get your first one known? Do people just know the concept of Florida and Arizona, or?
Most of my residents came from my existing clientele in the home care business. When people would sort of pretty much exhaust their assets and they would have to sell their home, then what they would do is look for a place. We gave them an alternative, showed them the home, allowed them to tour, different assisted living facilities, and they felt this was just a nice small community that felt like home. When I started this, there was an interesting or staggering statistic that the number one cause of death when people move from their home to an assisted living facility, more people die of depression than any other illness. So I think that's because they go from a home that they've lived in for, 30 years to a large institutional facility. Not to say that that's a bad thing. For some people, that's a really good thing. We offer a small, intimate environment, a home type environment. It's like living at home with a few friends, and they get really good one-on-one care, and that's important to us.
Well, it's what a family would, second best to just being a family. And I love your logo, your motto.
Love where you nest.
That is a great motto. Well, Gary, thank you so much. Gary from Sunshine Senior Residence. People can contact you at 203-517-0440. And thank you so much for showing us around. Thank you so much for being a pioneer and a forerunner in this in Connecticut. It is so needed. We have an aging population here, and people are looking for alternatives.
Thanks so much for having me on today. I appreciate it, and
love it.
They're going to love your home once it opens. It's beautiful. I've seen it already.
Oh, thank you. Well, you're an inspiration. Thank you so much, Gary. Stay safe.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thanks for all you do. Bye. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow on Let's Talk Senior.
Hi, Deirdre here again. Thank you for joining me on Let's Talk Seniors Memory Care Issues. Is this an issue hitting home? Do you have a parent or loved one with memory care issues who you feel is not safe at home anymore? Are isolation, falls, and safety issues becoming a big concern? Welcome to Dogwood Senior Home, premier boutique residential senior living specializing in memory care. It's country living at its best in the Huntington section of Shelton, Connecticut. We're truly a home with only 6 senior residents living as one family unit. Senior residential homes are concepts sweeping the nation with 47,000 across the U.S. We're pleased to open Dogwood Senior Home as it will be only number 6 for Connecticut. Brand new, sparkling clean, opening mid-June. And safe. We are COVID-free. Residential care homes boast a very low COVID infection rate across the nation. This is due to the intimacy of size and speed in which the caretakers can shift to accommodate immediate needs. They are much safer than the large homes and facilities, as you can imagine. It has been documented that residents have less falls and a better quality of life in a residential home environment. Our home is more affordable than the big box facility. You pay one all-inclusive price. And that price is guaranteed for the life of the resident. With an incredible 1-to-3 caregiver ratio, which you won't find anywhere else. Our friendly, loving caregivers are dedicated and trained in Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's issues. We're only taking 6 residents, so the home will fill up fast. Call me at 203-689-7562 for a talk and tour. I would love to meet you and your loved one. See you soon. Bye.